Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Historytimes.org. Historytimes.org, where you learn more than you've ever learned in your entire life. How you guys doing today? I am Elder Rawchaa, which in English means warrior lion. I'm a young elder, like from during the times of Daniel. Okay, I'm here today, Tuesday nights on our broadcast G.O.C.C Media, and we have a great topic tonight that is long overdue. It's always going to be overdue, actually, because our people are wandering 40 years in the wilderness, even in the ghettos, even in the so-called hoods, even in our impoverished areas that we're living in today, in our under our captives, the Romans, right? Under spiritual Egypt and Sodom. Okay? And I don't say that with any condescending. That's just the truth of the Bible. Okay? How is everybody doing today? I don't know how to be anything else but action. And I don't think any of us should be either. Okay, we shouldn't be lacking any action while the Most High gave us that clock. Your heartbeat is like your clock ticking. You never know when it's going to stop ticking. So you got to make sure you do what you need to do while you have your time here. Okay. Shalom. Blessings to everyone. Blessings to everyone. Akdawadah, Benjamin, blessed. All praises be to the Most High. Benjamin, Judah, Levi, Gad, Ephraim, Manasseh, all the tribes, Naphtali, Issachar. All the tribes. Make sure that you guys hit the make sure that you guys go ahead and hit the like button so that we can drive the traffic in, because tonight we will be talking about a special topic that is it's always long overdue. Because guess what? We continue to get, let me turn this off here. We continue to get new people in. And even those who are not new, unfortunately, may deal with some relationship issues. Now, they have a roundtable discussion that you can see if you go ahead and join the Hebrew and Bible Academy. When you go to historytimes.org, they talk more about the relationships, okay? So, yes, but before we go into it, I'm going to play a video. Okay, I'm going to play a video just as a reminder of, where we are now. We our people are captive in the hood, in the ghettos, and, we have to come back to our God, right? To get out of these curses. I mean, everyone asks how, what works can I do? Some of the works that you can do is right in your home. It's right within. We have to always start there and build that foundation there. Many of us come into the truth. We have a lot of talent, and guess what? You want to pour all of your talents out, and you want to get some fame that you probably never got in the world, or you did get. But I'll be honest with you. You don't want to come in sprinting, because you will fall, like we all can, and many of us have. But it's how a person gets back up. But you want to come in as a humble servant. You want to come in as a humble servant. Some people come in and it's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, they used to do this and do that, and they come right in thinking it was about that, but they have no clear understanding about what this is or what they're doing at all. Right? Some of them couldn't rub two nickels together in the world. Some of them didn't know how to do a lot of different talents in the world, and then they come in here and think that this is their market. Not yet. You have to prove yourself to the Most High. Prove yourself to the people. Right? Labor for a while. You come right in here, you're ready to marry right already. We don't even know you. You have to put your time in, guys. You have to put your time in. Elder, can I get on a song with you? I don't know you yet. And guess what? You have a lot of talent. You do. But I don't know you yet. I don't know if the person who's rapping in this song, if that's the person who sang Praise the Most High and I'm going to be there to the end, I don't know if that's you yet. I haven't labored with you long enough to know that. No one's verifying that. I have to see if there's some verification on that. Okay? But we're not going to be talking about those relationships tonight. It's more talking about our households that Ezra's told us to get in order. We're wandering 40 years in the wilderness still. That's the same mindset that we're doing today. It's even people who have been in the truth for a decade. And I'm not speaking to anyone in particular, but I know. I've been around long enough to know just life in general that people, they wear themselves on their countenance. You can see a person spirit in their countenance. And tonight we're just gonna have a discussion tonight. Yes, we will be taking some call-ins tonight because I want to hear your feedback on these things as well. Some people think that you're going to be able to fake it till you make it, but you're blocking blessings in your home. Whether on the man side or whether on the woman side, right? Have we learned anything yet since we've been in this truth? Have we learned anything yet since we've been in this truth? We're reading, we're studying, we're praying, but yet still stagnant in a lot of areas because of our own stubbornness, our own stiff-neckedness. No one can lie and say it's not true. I'm going to ask some questions tonight that's going to provoke some thought on this topic, and I want to hear your feedback. Now, yes, you're only going to have 2 minutes, but I really want to see if there's some growth or not. Have we learned anything yet? Definitely in the world we haven't learned anything yet. That's still going on. I mean, I'm looking at the, hands on your knees, shake that, let it breathe. I'm like, we haven't learned anything yet. And then the babies are doing it. We haven't learned anything yet. I want to know in the truth, though, we learning something because I don't know. Some people gonna say, yeah, we are elder, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you in councils every week or every month, listen, you ain't learned yet. If you still coming arguing, he don't make me happy, she don't make me happy, you have forgot what this was about. Just how you renewed yourself in that water, you probably should have renewed those vows because a lot of people came together not for the right reason in the beginning. You probably should have laid the new vows on the line too. I think that plays a big part so that people can have that barometer. I love the fact that, hey, people are married in the world, but a lot of times we have to be honest. Do we come together for the right reason? Unfortunately, you have children and all that. I wouldn't tell anybody to split, but it's like now that we understand what we're getting into when we come into this truth, are we really made for each other? That, we can't fix, now you have a lot of people who have already came in like that, but we have to, with the new marriages, make sure that they don't go through that. And we're going to talk a lot about what do I mean exactly about this? Where are you going, Elder? I'm going to show you where I'm going. I think by now you don't have to worry about that. I think by now you don't have to worry about that part. And it's genuine love because our God made us in his image, and that image is family. It's male and female, and it's children. Be fruitful and multiply. If you're divorced, you can't be fruitful and multiply. If you keep, it's not fruitful. You understand? You're having babies out there with many different men and women having babies all over the place, but that's actually unfruitful according to the Most High. You're multiplying in an unfruitful manner. Fruitful was meant to be in a righteous manner. Okay? So we'll talk about it, but let me go to my brother's video really quick. This is a new video. I'm not playing it because I'm in it. Not at all. This is one of the good artists in the church. Not only is he a good artist, he's labored for many years in the church through all of the ups and downs, trials and tribulations, as every man and woman must do in this walk, right? His name is Elder Rawchaa, very talented man. Okay, he's my deacon in Houston, and regardless if he was my deacon or not, he's a talented man. But I really can care less about a person's talent. I really want to see a person's discipline, and I want to see their walk and their humility and who they are. So we're going to be playing that song on here tonight. I'm going to be playing it a little ahead because there's a sample in there I probably don't want to play on here just yet for copyright purposes. But you can go to his page and go ahead and subscribe and continue to see that whole video if you have not already saw it. All right. So let me go ahead and get that here for you guys. Beside the river. Beside the river. Fair use. Religious and educational purposes only.
Hanging, choking on tree. Now we hanging, choke on tree. One is with smoke, the other with nooses, feet dangling by leaves. Blood on the root, blood leaves. Blood cock and shoot, watching cuz breathe. His last breath taking, visualize escaping this. Dry ground needs a root to grow, to show us that somewhere a river flows. What we want first, tell the potter, please come and grab us first, and put his hand on us. We abandon him, please don't abandon us. Tell him mold us, and this time will be different. If we too dry, then please use some water up out that river and moisturize in this environment's great for our seeds. Who knew that your hand in living water was all we need? We see that desert's full of snakes and vultures looking back. Now that we've tasted of this river, please don't send us back. We see the fruit that's now produced is beautiful and ripe. The river and the light from the sun that gave us life. Please uproot me and plant me down.
Plant me down by the river. Oh, now plant me down. Plant me down by the river. Oh, now plant me down. The water in my veins stream, the river.
Alrighty. Listen. That right there was totally amazing. Totally amazing. All praises be to the Most High. I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe to my brother. All right. Him and featuring his wife, his beautiful wife, Zamariah. Okay, who has stood by his side, along his side, making beautiful music for many years. All praises be to the Most High, man. All praises. So make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like it. You know how you have to do in this digital age. You have to press the like button. So make sure you guys, as you're coming in here too, you press the like button. But not only press the like button, make sure you're not interrupting the chat. If you're going to talk. But make sure that you're not going off. Make sure you're not asking someone in this chat as if they're a teacher. There's no teacher in this chat except for me tonight. Just so you know. Just like on every, if it's Born to Levi, it's Born to Levi's teaching that night. If it's Elder Rawchaa, it's Elder Rawchaa teaching this night. It's Elder Rawchaa, it's Elder Rawchaa. It's no people coming in teaching you through the chat. Just so you know. I just want to make sure we have that understanding as scoffers try to come in. I don't care if they're part of the church or not. We have to have rules and regulations and honor and order. It's just what it is. Okay, so if you're coming on here, you know, we want your input about what we're talking about tonight. We want to stay focused. Okay. So anyway, beautiful song. And, you know, I like the storyline because the storyline is about, you know, a sister being in the world, a brother being in the world, turning to the truth from, you know, the world of gangbanging and things like that. So, you know, as you see them coming in at the end, being embraced by the beautiful saints of the Most High. And I wish that they would show these things on the media, but they don't want to show us in the true light that the Most High would have us in. They only want to show that negativity, right, of the Israelites. They don't even want people to know that we are the Israelites. Okay, who came on the slave ships in Deuteronomy 28. But it's okay. Prophecy will be fulfilled according to his will. His word shall not come back slack or void. Right? So, tonight let me get my notes here. I want to go into a scripture really quick. It's 2 Timothy 2 and 3. All right, 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Yeah. Because now you're probably asking, why do I want to go here? Well, you know, we come into the truth and a lot of time can be wasted. A lot of our talent, a lot of the Most High's will can be wasted. We should come in intending to fight. Come in intending to labor. Come in intending to put our hands to the plow, whatever that may be, shape, fashion, form, whatever the case may be. But sometimes we come in to waste time. Some of us are wasting time still being lukewarm in the world. Some of us are wasting time taking the beams out of the mote out of other people's eyes instead of taking the beams out of our own. Shalom, Elder Dale. I appreciate you, sir. Bless you, my elder. Yeah, so we're going to be going to 2 Timothy 2 and 3. And we're going here to show that, have you not learned anything yet since you've been here? Have you not learned respect? Have you not learned honor? Have you not learned new skills in life to better your life? Okay, have you not learned to better your faith, to strengthen your faith, to add onto your faith, to add onto your patience, to get the fruits of the Spirit? Or are you still carnal? Because if you're still living, you still have time to get it right. But don't think that because you're still living that you're promised to just be here tomorrow. You might want to try to get these things right. But tonight we're talking about relationships And we're getting ready to go into a time of Jacob's trouble even more. We're transitioning as the time draws near even closer, where husband and wife should not let the devil part or divide them. Right? And as we go forth in these times, hey, none of us have never seen successful marriages consistently, and I mean nationwide. Not just, oh, my grandma did it, oh, my uncle did it. No, that's not enough. It's not enough. So I'm not saying people should force to be in relationships, because I got a few topics I'm going to talk about tonight, but I don't believe that we should turn our backs on each other because that's what the world wants to see. These souls who are called in this truth will be together forever. We are family now. So we have to transition, get to know one another, be able to put up with one another, learn one another. And this is the new family. So you're trying to bring in, you're trying to bring in people who they're probably not written to be a part of this. And you're like vainly, in a vain fashion, waiting on something that will never come. I hope I can wake this girl up in the truth to get her in the truth. I hope I can wake this man up. Listen, you have to pray to the Most High for what you want and be patient and do the work of the Most High. But I am saying all this to say, we have to marry together. It's time for us to make a new nation, a new family. But are those who are already married being a great example? Even the widows, even the elders who wives have may passed away, are you being a good example for the next generation to come? Because I had to ask the question tonight, have you not learned anything yet? Because sometimes, people will still come to the elders, oh, we're still having problems, oh, it's still this and it's still that, especially from the woman's side, when it's really not. Women and men think totally different. It's never that deep of what the woman says, just to be quite honest. Excuse me, my chair is making a lot of noise with my belt, but it's never usually that deep. And I'm being quite blunt with you. It's never truly that deep. We're two different creatures created for different purposes. The woman to serve her husband, and the man to dominate in his dominion that was given to him by the Father. And we seem to still not have learned our roles in this. We seem to still not learned our roles in this. That's even in the truth too. But we're not talking about the truth tonight. Some people still think, hey, I picked up a Bible, I read a few scriptures. A servant is not greater than his master, and he will never be. And he should not look to try to be. That master will try to make that servant better than him if he wants to, if he's a great, humble servant. But the servant should not seek to be better than his master. Just like the woman, since we're talking about this subject tonight, and the man, the woman should not seek to be the man. And the man should also not seek to be the woman. We should seek to be what God called us for in 1 Corinthians 11. The head is the Most High. Under that is Christ. Under that is a man. Under that is the woman. Under those children, the man and the woman, they lead them together. Right? And we already know what this place have done to separate that. See, when you go to the other side of the world, you see it very clearly. It's still going on the old way. Now, obviously, there's some, parts of these places when you go to European countries that operates a little different. But still, family is still at the forefront. Okay? You might see every now and then a little change, but overall, it's still about family. And Israelites seem to still be running 40 years in the wilderness. So let's go 2 Timothy 2. And you know what? Let's just go to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 3, excuse me. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and 1. We're just going to start at verse 1. Give me one moment. Let me pull it up on the screen for you guys. All right. This know also, make sure I can see the chat. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. We are in those perilous times right now. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Not only men, but women. Just the image of the Most High in general, who have fallen off from his ways. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Obviously, you see Instagram selfies, and it's all about me. Covetous, boasters, proud-hearted people. Proud people who care nothing about what anyone says. They're free and liberal with all of their activities. Do as thou wilt. Self-willed. Blasphemers, total liars, with no care about it either. Disobedient to parents. Not only disobedient to parents, but whatever authority was presented over them by God himself. Okay? Unthankful, unholy, unthankful. Since we're talking about relationships tonight, you know, and a good husband, he tries to provide everything that he can for his woman. You will have an unthankful woman. You have some women who play the role that they shouldn't be playing of the man, who help this man get on his feet. All he wants to do is kick back and play the PlayStation 4. He's unthankful. He's not appreciative. She still made it to where he can keep his integrity and still be called a man, knowing his shortcomings in our world that we live in, which is the captivity. We are last. Everyone else is first. Okay? Unholy. We've come into the truth. Some people are still acting unholy. Obviously, the world will be unholy. Without natural affection, okay, you don't ever want to get to that point, because that, once again, is a part of the world. Truce breakers, you can't keep your covenant. I thought when we had our vows that you said that you would do this for me and that you would do this for me. Truce breakers. You're breaking covenants and your peace with one another. Okay? Yes, that can be manifold on many levels, but I want to keep this tonight, just this topic, just on relationships. False accusers. Okay? Instead of being honest to heal the situation, Adam and Eve again. The woman that thou gavest me did this. She's like, the devil did this. Okay? But in a sense, that was the truth at that time. In a sense, but we have to be honest about what we do in order to get better. Unholy. Without natural affection. Trying to include the world into your relationship, it will not work. It will not work. And we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why. That anything that's not founded on Christ, it will always fail. It will have some principles to make it survive and live for a certain amount of time. But eventually it will crumble. It will crumble eventually. We have a lot of relationships in the world where you get with the person, he's a good man, she's a good woman, and eventually you could be with her 5 years, 10 years. You always come back to see a black family, Hispanic family, whatever the case may be. Oh, it didn't work out. They was too this and too that. And everyone has a story. 40 years in the wilderness. We keep going through 40 years in the wilderness, not listening to what our God told us, not understanding his rules and that they're perfect in their ways. Okay? False accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, walking with your head high, not caring about, even though you know you're wrong, you still don't care. Until the breaking point where the Most High abases you, brings you all the way down to the foundations thereof. And then later, now you want to repent, but it might be too late at that time. High-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lust, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Now check this out. You have people who is actually going backwards instead of going forward in this walk. Still, like Paul said, how can you call yourself spiritual but you are yet carnal? Right? How can you call yourselves spiritual when you are yet carnal? We have to leave these things behind. That was our goal, to leave them behind. So some of you who may be stagnant, you must leave these things behind because you're still holding on to them. In your relationship, in your own members, you must leave these things alone. Okay? So I wanted to read that, but I want to focus on this part really quick. You're still coming to the classes. You're listening to us all week. You're listening to the academy. You're coming to the Sabbath. But if you're dealing with these things, what is it showing? That you will be forever learning, but still never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Meaning, you will be in stagnation. Your life will not be successful, and you would just be stagnant, frustrated. It will turn you into a rebel, turn you into a Judas. You will be blaming everybody, woe is me, mad at the world. Only because you don't want to turn back around and go back forward and follow the ways that you know you're supposed to be following. Face the truth. The truth shall set you free. Confess your faults and ye shall be healed. James 5. It's no running from these precepts. Right? You know you should be following your husband. You know what 1 Corinthians 11 says. You have a wall blocked up to where it's not allowing you because you have an excuse of what he's doing. But what did God say? He says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. You do what you're supposed to do. If he's doing wrong, I guarantee you I'm going to punish him. If she's doing wrong, I guarantee you I'm going to punish her. But you do what you're supposed to do. You don't go cheat because that person cheated. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Your job is to try to gain, to make it right, to be the light to that person, regardless of the situation. And guess what? The Most High will show you what to do in time. Through counsels, through whatever the case may be. But it's only so many counsels that you can get in a relationship. There's only so many counsels you can get, guys. How many 3 to 5 hour counsels throughout your life do you need? You're a grown up. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Yes, we went through the curses, but by now, you know what it says. Follow your husband in everything. Period. Huh? But you're supposed to treat me how Christ treat the church. Stop telling him that. Stop telling him that. If he don't do it, teach him how to do it. And if he don't do it, eventually the Most High gonna deal with him. I promise you that. None of us will get away. But there's an order that's set that we must keep. And we're going to talk about the new relationships and how it must be fostered after this as well. But you will be forever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Just like these people who are in the world we just read about. Right? Drink some of my tea. And excuse me if you hear the tea. Do I need to press mute? Because someone said that, hey, it's so rude of you to drink your tea. I'm going to drink my tea. If you don't like it, you probably should go watch someone else. I'm sorry. I have to drink my tea to get me through the show. Forgive me, though. I don't mean to purposely do anything, but I have to drink my tea. When you're speaking for a long time, your throat gets dry, your lips get dry. I'm going to drink my tea. Okay? So, forgive me, though. All righty. I mean no harm. We're human. I don't know what else to tell you. So, anyway. I want to first ask a few questions before we go forth with some more scriptures. But I want to show something really quick before I go forward. I have a video I want to show. And I saw it just over the weekend and I said, boy, you guys probably saw it. But first, yeah, I'll go to this. Yeah, let me go to this first. I'll show you what type of men it creates when you're just dealing with single women a lot of times. Give me one moment. me see here. Where do I want to put this? You know what? Let's put it right there. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. This is for fair use, educational purposes only. Turn the volume up. Get you guys to see this here. Let me know, can you see it? All right. I don't know if you guys seen this. Don't pay attention to the comments on the side. People don't know what they're talking about. Either way, whether they're right or they're wrong. Don't worry about that. Worry about the video. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Somewhere. What's going on?
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Hold on. Hold on.
Wait.
Come on.
And if you have children, there's a little profanity here. So if you want them to go ahead and leave the room, it's a little profanity, just a normal argument going on with these adults. So if you have a child and you want to tell them to leave the room, all right. Yeah, I know that I could have said that was rude for someone for me to drink my tea, but it's okay. Some people still don't learn the honor of their elders that we labor. You don't know what I've been doing all day, needing to keep myself up. I need to drink tea. People drink coffee and tea when they're working. Sorry, I just don't know what else to say. Maybe I need to turn into a robot or drink air. I don't know what to do, but I'm not even worried about it. I'm just saying, excuse me if you hear me slurping. Forgive me. I don't mean any harm. I think I have more manners than most, but it's okay. It's all good. Let's focus on the video. Check it out. I just wanted to say, if you have children, go ahead and
It's not
fair
a
use.
problem. Every time he come with me and I chastise him about something, he want to get in his feelings and shoot you a text message.
Okay.
He want to go back home.
All right. But the thing is, you run your house like a boot camp. That's why your other kids ain't happy there.
No,
He's not used to that.
I run my house with structure and discipline. That's what I.
Okay, you can hear me now. She says that's why your other kids ain't happy there. Now, how does she know? Are you talking to his other baby mom, his other baby mother? Or are you talking to the children? Or are you just assuming that? So let's go. This is a great video because we're gonna get some call-ins tonight. Let's go.
My household with. I'm not saying that you're not doing a good job of that, but that's what I run my house with. And when he get in his feelings, he want to come home because I chastise him.
Right. But he don't do that there. I do everything here. I clean his room. I do the dishes. I clean up. He don't do that.
I clean his room. I do the dishes. He don't clean up. Oh. So, what are we raising here? Are we raising a man? Or are we raising? I mean, how is this young man going to be prepped for the world? And this is my opinion. This is according to historical patterns of facts. I mean, let me tell you guys something. What do you see when you look out in the hood in the streets from single mothers raising black men? They've already shown that we have a high percentage of black men getting shot, getting killed, or going to prison, or not being able to find a job because of things like this. I'm not trying to blame this sister. What I'm saying is these are the curses that have fell upon us. So I want to hear tonight, sisters, if you think what she's saying is okay, I mean, brothers, or is this gentleman wrong for what he's saying here? But we're going to bring the scriptures out to see as well.
That's why he don't ever want to be there. He don't want to be at your house because you run that shit like a fucking boot camp,
You
man.
can't be serious. How you gonna raise a young man?
Let me tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. When you deal with a young man, he's not going to necessarily like the discipline that comes right away in the beginning. But once his father sees that he's making it through it, you understanding that he's starting to learn why he's doing this. That's when the father will start to give him grace, buy him things, and do those things. Until then, a father may not really just give him everything like the mom is. because that creates a spoiled brat like we are today, depending on the social frame society that we live in today. Right? When you don't discipline your children, you don't love them, according to scripture. It's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. Now, let me tell you, I grew up with a military stepfather. Take all the dishes out of the cabinet. Oh, you didn't get no good. You got a C? Take all of the dishes out of the cabinet. And wash them, even though they're clean. Take all your clothes. If you did something else bad, guess what? But it had to be something very bad, though. Take all the clothes out of your closet. Iron them. Even though I got to wake up earlier now to go to school. When you come back home, you still got to do your homework. You still got to finish ironing them clothes in a certain amount of time, or you're gonna get your behind whipped. Right? So let me tell you, I still, after all the good my mom and stepdad did, still hit the streets. I still hit the streets. So imagine what if they didn't do that. Who would I have been? I was able to come back to what they've taught me because I realized that people who I was hanging around, I'm like, man, this ain't it. I remember you go right back to what your parents taught you in your mind. And I'm like, man, I called my mom back, man, I thank you for what you taught me. You know, and I wanted to thank my stepfather, but he ended up passing. So I couldn't thank him, even though I didn't like it at the time. But when you become a man and put away childish things, you realize those things that they taught me, and especially the father, because when I see him, someone trying to mess with my family, he stands up like a lion. He's not letting anybody mess with my family, period. I'm not going to say on here what he did, but let me tell you, he made sure nobody messed with my family. That's all I'm going to say. And me seeing that taught me what to do, to stand up, to not have fear. He wasn't running from nobody. You see what I'm saying? When it's time to make peace, you make peace. When it's time to defeat, you defeat. You see? When it's time to put your hands to the plow so that you can make, an income for your family, you know how to do that because of what a man is teaching you. If everyone's doing something for this young man, how can he learn how to take care of family? This is what our sisters a lot of times are teaching them. Not saying everybody, but a lot of them are. We don't need any of that going on.
Yeah. He ain't gonna be able to know how to fend for himself. Cook, clean, mow the grass. He ain't gonna be able to do none of that shit.
He can do
Change
other
the tire.
stuff. He can do other stuff.
Who's teaching him?
He is not going to know how to cut grass, change a tire, cook, clean. She said he can do other stuff. Now, y'all probably like, I can't believe what she's saying. Don't try to act like that. Y'all know as many sisters out there doing this. And even if she's telling him to do right, after he gets that bass in his voice and his chest is puffed up and he get him a little something on the side, start selling drugs or smoking weed or start having, you understand, intercourse. He feel like he the man. He coming, he gonna tell mama what he wants to tell mama, and mama gonna be afraid. Right? And mama becomes afraid. And then you probably was whipping the first children, but then you get older and you got tired of whipping. Now that you didn't whip that same last child like them first, he's running over you. And you're afraid of him. Because you old and you still want to keep your life and you love your child, but you don't want to hurt your child. This is what this creates. We're going to talk about it.
Teaching them.
How you
You still got to learn how to be compassionate towards others and be nice to others.
listen?
It sounds like she's creating, for him to be a member of these alternative lifestyles right here. He still got to learn to be compassionate, of course. Of course. You don't think this gentleman is going to teach his son how to be compassionate? Right? You don't think he's going to do that. If he's taking out his time to discipline him in other ways. So, yes, she's teaching him wisdom and being the comforter. That's good. If these two were together and she's teaching him that part and she's allowing the husband to teach him how to be a man, you can have a great, balanced, well-balanced son like the Most High intended for. But she, because she is split from this man, only what she says is right. She just needs, you understand, him to go over every now and then and talk to him. Huh? So no one can tell her you didn't let him see his daddy, according to what she's doing.
Too much on him,
I'm
man.
not doing too much. You raising this boy to be too goddamn soft, man.
What you mean by soft?
Look, at the rate he gonna end up being a felon on the street, a fucking mama's boy don't nobody want, or you gonna end up being gay. One of the three.
Okay, but you already have a son that's gay.
But I didn't raise him. But that's just my opinion.
Now we, this is their this is their views and what they're saying. I'm just playing the video for educational purposes. That's what he believes. And he has the right to believe that. Let me tell you, this really right here is a generalized black family. This is typical black divorce family argument.
You're saying I'm raising him, I'm turning him to be out to be gay.
That's not what I'm saying. See, you trying to change the whole narrative. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me disciplining my son and you not being an interference. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, look though. That's not how I discipline though.
He could be
you
with
too
that.
hard
No,
on.
he could be. He could be with that.
Look, that's not how I discipline. No, you too hard. I'm like, what is? Listen, I understand women in this regard. You never, guys. I know men can agree to this. You get ready to discipline a child. You know how women is. They looking like, oh my goodness, what's about to happen? You should already know what's about to happen. It's going down. Huh? It's going down. It may not go down every time. It may, the initial approach may seem like you about to bring wrath, but then you go there and just talk to him. But that's just a man. They wouldn't even let you get to point, from point A to C. I mean B, excuse me, to get to C. To see what you're going to do. Let a man be a man. Or what the statistics show, unfortunately, most women are living alone, and the reality is that they will die alone. That's the statistics of a black woman right now. And I'm not saying that proud. I think that that's horrible. But you're raising your son or your daughters, because after a while, the daughters want to fight the mama because she's raising them like this. They're angry. They don't have that father figure to put them, right, to humble them, to put them back in their place. That's a balance that they're missing. Yeah, it's a spiritual imbalance that they know. They can't even figure out what's going on. I'm getting too much comfort. They know there's supposed to be another balance in that thing. They like, goodness. You know what I mean? I can just walk over mama. I know when to go. I know when daddy ain't around, I can go ask mama for something because I know she gonna say yes. Didn't I tell y'all don't eat all them oranges in that refrigerator? Well, mama told me, yeah. Woman, didn't I tell you don't let the kids get all them oranges? Well, baby, they were still hungry. That's a woman. And it's okay. But we need to realize, have we learned anything yet? Play your part and let the man play his part. And for the new relationships, y'all better learn. You better learn. Don't go into it trying to play two roles. Let the man play his role. Or you ain't raising a man, you raising a little, hey, I'm not going to even say it on here. You understand? That's just the reality of it. You will be raising a whoremonger, drug dealer, prisoner, possibly. Some single women are effective at this, but the man, it's almost now like the man's married to the mama. When it's time for him to get married, mama don't even want to let him go because she's used to being around him. He's used to being around her, even though there's nothing going on weird like that. But still, a man shall cleave to his own wife after he leaves his father and his mother. But you know why you want him around too? You still need him to help pay some of them bills. But that wasn't his job. His job was to eventually leave. All your kids' job was to eventually leave and cleave to their own family. And now it's you having to work to take care of yourself instead of a man taking care of you because you wanted to have a mouth. You wanted to be the ruler. But no man is going to stay around for that. Not a real man. This is what we're dealing with, Israelites, running 40 years in the wilderness dealing with this. To where you eventually give up and then you run to the other nations instead of figuring out your own problems with your own people and your own family.
Straight.
Okay.
He can
But
do
you
whatever he
too
wants.
hard on them. You too hard on them.
I'm supposed to be hard on them. That's wrong with these kids
Why you think
now.
your other kids don't want to come? You too hard on them, man. That's too much. Let them be a kid.
So I got to be the fall guy because I want to be hard on my kids to make sure they turn out right, better than I did.
Look,
If
come
they-
on.
that's
Come on, baby. Come on, get out the car.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh,
Come on.
man. That's
Come on, baby. Come on out the car. Come on. Huh? Lord have mercy.
Come on.
Look, there he go. Yeah, all right, Mom, I'm coming. And you know most of us that age, we don't want to take that discipline. I'm coming, Mama. Until you get out there and realize you start hurting. I miss my daddy. I need somebody. I wish somebody would show me how to come out here and fight. Show me how to be a lion. You miss him later. You better take that chastisement and that discipline, or you not his son.
really,
Come on,
son.
Come on. Mama take care of you. I'll take you shopping later on, okay?
See what I'm talking about? That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's
You gonna turn your son into a little biz ninja light instead of an Israelite. I can't say what we used to say. Huh? He gonna be light-footed. Huh? What's Playboy Cardi? He in the studio. Hey, he coming. Hey, Playboy Cardi walked out of the Kanye studio with a thong on. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's what you will create. I'm just saying, that's the reality. I don't know. I know Kanye talking about Israelites, but I don't know. He's allowing Playboy Cardi to come in the studio with that on. And that dude look like the total devil. This is what we're creating.
Man, Jaquez, go on. We don't need that shit. Go on. Go on about your business, man. We don't need that.
Really?
Because the thing is this. At the end of the day, I take care of them. All I asked you to do was to step in and give them
That's
talking
good.
to
That's all I'm
Just
doing.
talk
That's
to
my
him.
son, man. That's all I'm trying to do is
Just-
be there for him and
just
raise
talk
him
to him.
right.
It's sad that this brother has to actually try to reason with a fool. She believed her own stupidity. I'm sorry, the stuff that's coming out my sister's mouth here is stupidity. It does not make any sense. It's almost like, and I feel bad because maybe that's how she was raised, thinking that they were supposed to be like that. But man, she believes this. Her conscience is seared with a hot iron that this is true of what's coming out of her mouth and that this guy is totally wrong. That's mental illness at an all-time high. You're talking about a stupor. It's very sad that we've come to this point, people. As you go forth in your new marriages, you have to understand what marriage was, what it was about, and what it was intended to be. Where men will now be begging a woman for their own children. We must stick to our God. Our forefathers falling from our God. I'm not blaming them. I have to pray for them because we've already sinned from them sinning and falling away. Not that we're better than them, but I'm just saying we're going through those curses because of the sins of our forefathers. Right? It's really sad. We have to clean up, man.
I got to discipline and yelling
Listen,
about.
I ain't had my father in my life, okay? So I know what it feel like, but I need to raise him and discipline him and show him the right way. Better than I did, you feel?
No, I don't agree with you on that part. I don't agree with you on that
Wait,
part.
what don't you agree with about what this brother's saying? Now, I don't know this brother. I don't know his life or whatever, but listen, I'm generalizing. What this brother's saying, he ain't said nothing wrong tonight. He have not said anything wrong.
Serious, man. That's bullshit, man.
Man, just going on and go. I'll take care of my son from here.
This is how you get a sister going around busybodying, telling people this is a bad man. And she can't find a good man when this man right now, everything he's speaking is good. She is the one who sounds like the fool. So she would go around spewing her foolishness when she could have had a good man who wanted to teach her son how to be a man. These are the things, like, we have to really understand what marriage was about. We're really thinking the wrong way here.
No, okay.
We good.
Hey, keep that same energy when you need some money now.
All right.
All right.
Make no sense.
You got to play it back through
Every
without me
time
talking.
he go with you somewhere. What's going on?
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Hold on.
Come on.
It's not a problem. Every time he come with me and
The brother told him stay in there so he would hear them arguing. And so he can dominate and say, listen, stay in the car, son. I need to talk to your mom so I can get some stuff straight. That's what a man does. She's definitely bitter.
ask him about something, he want to get in his feelings and shoot you a text message.
Okay.
He want to go back home.
And I'm gonna tell my sisters. Listen, a lot of y'all won't admit that a lot of y'all was like this. It's not no blame, but you know, the government and the devil himself made this society this way, where our men would not be able to fend for themselves and have enough to be able to. Now, where we need two incomes to take care of our women, and he don't have, you know, a foot to stand on, to where now she can speak down upon him and look down upon him. A lot of our sisters need to admit to this, because you're not admitting to it. You need to admit, and guess what? Now, I need a husband. I'm in the end times. I don't want to be lonely. Well, I'm playing this video, so if this was you, you need to fix it. And if it's you now, you need to fix it. Confess your faults and you shall be healed. You don't deserve a husband if you haven't fixed this yet, and you can't fix it. I'm sorry. We all have to pay for the things that we've done, even after baptism to a certain degree. I'm sorry. Yes, God have forgiven you. But what makes you think that you deserve a husband now if you're still doing the same things? Have we not learned anything yet? You still talking back to him? When you read the scripture yourself that says follow him in everything. Yes, you have a say so. Definitely do. But find out how to do it. A soft answer turns away wrath. Not that he's going to be angry every time, but understand who you're dealing with. You're dealing with your head. I don't care how much finances you make over him or nothing like that. When you start to fit your positions accordingly, that's when the blessings come to the house. Or your prayers will be blocked and everything. It's time for us to listen and accept it or wander 40 years in the wilderness.
But the thing is, you run your house like a boot camp. That's why your other kids ain't happy there.
No,
He's not used to that.
I run my house with structure and discipline. That's what I run my household with. I'm not saying that you're not doing a good job of that, but that's what I run my house with. And when he getting his feelings, he want to come home because I chastise him.
Right. But he don't do that there. I do everything here. I clean his room. I do the dishes. I clean up. He don't do that. That's why he don't ever want to be there. He don't want to be at your house because you run that shit like a fucking boot camp, man.
You can't be serious. How you gonna raise a young man like that? He ain't gonna be able to know how to fend for himself. Cook, clean, mow the grass. He ain't gonna be able to do none of that shit.
He can do
Change
other
the tire.
stuff. He can do other stuff.
Who's teaching him?
I'm teaching him.
How you?
He still got to learn how to be compassionate towards others and be nice to others.
Listen,
You're doing too much on him,
I'm
man.
not doing too much. You raising this boy to be too goddamn soft, man.
You teach him that part, cool. But then you let the daddy teach him the other balance, like we said.
About soft.
Look, at the rate he gonna end up being a felon on the street, a fucking mama's boy don't nobody want, or you gonna end up being gay. One of the three.
Okay, but you already have
A mama's boy that nobody wants. What one of you women wants a mama's boy? Because it's like he's dating his mom. Because his mom, every time mama call, he got to come. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with coming to whatever your mom need to help her. That's not what we're saying. But you got some mama's boys to where, you can't even have a relationship with your wife because it's as if your mom is sitting right there in the bed with y'all watching the series. No woman can stand around for that. I got to go do what mama tell me. What? Huh? Come on now. Your mom should respect you. And when she respects your relationship, just how you respect, hey, we all have to respect each other's relationship. Parents should be that involved in your relationship where they're dictating your relationship. No. You know, the mama want to pull the woman to the side and tell her and try to pull her to her ways. Oh no. Oh no. You run your wife. Because mama might tell her some things that she used to do. Oh no. This is how this thing be going. People don't want to admit it. You know the truth about it. And we don't want to hear nothing about what your grandmama used to tell you if it's wrong. You know, grandmama used to hide the money in the wall and under the mattress. And then you bringing that into a relationship. So now, well, that's my grandmama. No, this is your husband. He don't care about what your grandmama used to teach you if it ain't good, if it's not biblically sound. Huh? Got to have you 2, 3 on the side. No, you don't. That's wrong. And that's on either side.
It's gay.
But I didn't raise him. But that's just my opinion.
So you saying I'm raising him, I'm turning him to be out to be gay.
That's not what I'm saying. See, you trying to change the whole narrative. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me disciplining my son and you not being an interference. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, look though. That's not how I discipline though.
He can be
you
with
too
that.
hard.
How many of you men like when someone interferes when you discipline your children? How many do you like when your woman steps in the way when it's like, listen, I got this. Back up. Women, I'm going to tell you the secret. You never want to get in the way of that. Now, if you're dealing with a total psycho, that's who you married. You married a psycho. Huh? But we talking about a godly man here. I shouldn't have to say that. No man likes, you whipping him too hard. You doing this, you doing that. Let me tell you, I wish I could have told my stepdaddy out, man, you should have whipped me hard. I probably wouldn't have hit them streets. You should have punished me longer. I probably would have got here sooner.
He could be whatever he want to be. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
He can
But
be
you
whatever he
too
want.
hard on him. You too hard on him.
I'm supposed to be hard on him. That's wrong with these kids.
Why
now.
you think your other kids don't want to come? You too hard on them, man. That's too much. Let them be a kid.
So I got to be the fall guy because I want to be hard on my kids to make sure they turn out right, better than I did.
Look,
If
come
they-
on.
that's
Come on, baby. Come on, get out the car.
Oh my gosh,
Come on.
man, that's the whole.
Come on.
Really,
Come on,
son?
now. Come on. Mama take care of you. I'll take you shopping later on, okay?
Whoa! I'll take you shopping. I'll take you shopping later on, huh? I'll take you shopping later on. Don't worry, baby. I'm going to take you sit on Santa Claus' lap. Don't worry. Don't worry. Huh? Santa Claus going to ask you what you need because your daddy, he ain't the one. And I know this broke my brother's heart. Like, really, son? Really? When a man has his son, he has a lot of pride in his son, seriously. But when you see your son like disappoint you like that, I'm not gonna lie, that really hurts. Why you think the Most High takes so much pride in his son? Because Christ did what he told him to do. And that's why none of us will be able to get out the way from his wrath if we don't do what the Most High told us to do by coming through his son. His son could have disobeyed him, but he did everything his father told him to do. And he chastised Christ, guess what? By allowing him to come down here and sacrifice for us and go through all of this stuff. Huh? That's how you can tell he loved his son. The Most High loved his son Christ. Yeah. Just like Abraham when thought he was going to have to sacrifice Isaac. That's love. And then we're not talking about specifically sacrifice. We're talking about, going through tough times in life to prove yourself to your father. Because nothing is easy for a man out here. That's the reality of it. This was sad, man.
That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That type shit.
Man, Jaquez, go on. We don't need that shit. Go on. Go on, fuck.
Man, let me tell you, boy. That woo, boy. I hope we get it together, Israel, before it's too late. I mean, man, that's just sad right there. But let me tell you, this is how some of our poor sisters are gonna be. Unfortunately, this is what's coming. When you raise a man like that, this is what you raise. This is what you raise. One moment. This is what you raise. Let me show you what you raise when you raise men like that. Huh? Fair use. Fair use. Educational purposes only. This is not our views. This is just for educational and religious purposes only. Fair use. This is what you raise here.
One of the great lies of history is that history is advanced by singular people, and really singular, heterosexual, able-bodied men. But for every single person like a King or a Malcolm or an Ella or a Fannie Lou, there are tens of thousands of people standing behind them. History is not advanced by single people. History is advanced by the people who are willing to stand in the gap for those people. People who are willing to sacrifice and help somebody and bail somebody out of jail and pray for somebody and feed somebody and make the photocopies for somebody. And for a long time,
the tree of good and evil. He said a lot of good right there, right? The tree of good and evil. First comes the good, then comes the evil. This is what happened when women who comfort their little sons, my baby. Then when you comfort him so much, when he's in prison, when he's in jail, or when he comes out to be something else, huh? That's what happens. No call-ins right now. Let me close this out because people calling in already. It ain't time to call in just yet. I will announce when the calls come in. Okay, we're gonna talk.
Who have stood in the back have been women. So part of what we got to do in this tradition is change some of the things of the past and say, we no longer going to have a sister with a PhD in the back and the brother not making no sense in the front. We got to move
the brother not making no sense in the front. When really, we need to reverse that because the video we just watched, this brother was making all the sense. Huh? This brother was making all the sense. So put the brother who's making all the sense in the back. Here go your Steppin' Fletcher right here, boy. This is what you create when you take men out of their little brothers' lives, out of their sons' lives and nephews' lives, grandpas out of their grandsons' lives. Oh yeah, and I shouldn't have to say the good men. Duh. We don't need some woman or some man to come say, well, not all men is good men. Do you think that I'm, as a biblical man, as a biblical scholar, is talking about a wicked man raising a child? Common sense should tell you that. Because we can't have people coming in, wasting time throwing little darts like that instead of staying on the main topic.
to the front. We got to let the women lead. We got to let our queer folk lead. We got to let our trans folk.
We got to let, he said, we have to let our, folk lead. The tree of good and evil, boy. When you hear somebody coming with that Bible, oh yeah, we believe in God. We all believe in God. And then come with that. Listen, at first they come like this, and like a snake straight, and then whoop, they curve it on you. Huh? Yeah. Forked tongue.
Because we ain't got it right. Men, we ain't got no way to say we done did this thing right.
Men never claim to be perfect. But I'm not going to let this brother sit up here and say that the black man never had it right. Brother, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I can't agree with you on that. Actually, on anything you're talking about here.
So join an organization and be willing to be led.
The church they decided to use, pastor, was caught up.
So we're going to leave that there. I tell you, boy. 1 second. Mark Lamont Hill. Right? Let's read about Mark Lamont. Get some information on him for some of us who don't know. MarkLamontHill.com. Making sure everybody can see it. He from Philly. I didn't know he from Philly. He from y'all town over there in Philly. All right. Mark Lamont Hill is an American academic, author, activist, and television personality. He is a professor of urban education at the CUNY Graduate Center in New York City. Hill is the host of Upfront on Al Jazeera English. And Al Jazeera used to have good news. VH1 Live on VH1 and Basketball Wives reunion shows. He is also BET News correspondent. 45-year-old gentleman here. Well, I don't know if he's a gentleman, whatever he's called himself, but I don't know. But that's who he is, just so you guys, if you didn't know. Now, I'm going to tell you, I never heard this brother say anything like this out of his mouth. I've only saw him on the news. But I was really shocked. But that's what's going to happen if we continue to let the devil come in our households. I'm trying to tell you right now. This is another thing that's going to happen. Let me show you. I ain't done yet. This is what the future holds for sisters and brothers who don't want to get it right. AI is coming for you. You can have a lot of love with AI. Yeah. Yes, indeed. You can have you a lot of love. There you go. You can have your nice companion. Yeah. I told you guys, get while the getting is good. Seek ye the kingdom, and the Most High gonna add, someone for you. But you don't want to follow. So guess what? You will be left alone with one of these. Hey. Spanish artist makes history as first woman to marry a holographic partner crafted from neural networks. You know they already got the little neural chip implanted in the brain. Everything's moving. We're here, guys. We don't have much time to be playing around. We don't have much time to be playing around. You're not going to be having babies in a time of war. Get yourself together. You will not be able to trust somebody who's arguing with you now. Sleeping in the same bed but arguing. You dealing with a backstabber. Y'all better get it right. How you backstabbing a person who you married to? That's not called marriage. It's no thing of being separate and together. You either together or you separate. So don't think you can face Christ as a man or a woman if you're doing wrong to that person who you're with. But there's an order that comes with it so we can know the parameters. If you're not following those rules according to that book, guess what? You're not doing your part in your contract. And you know what the Most High is about, how he is about you keeping your word. But he did this, like Adam and Eve said, right? Even though they said, the devil did this, but Eve did this, they all got punished. Understand that. And there would have been blessings if Adam and Eve didn't do that, right? That's how a household is. If a man and woman agree together, there's blessings that comes. If you don't, you block your prayers. That's scripture. You're going to be in a cave of darkness like Adam and Eve, living in the hood, turmoil, stagnant.
I put some sweet potato.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Put it here.
Weird.
Aubergine. Yeah, so it's a bit dangerous. Not for you, but for humans.
Yeah, I'll take them out anyway.
Bruh. Bruh.
What's good?
Hey, sisters, there y'all go.
I put some.
Hey, you can have your. 1 second.
What's in here?
There you go, sisters. There you go. You ready? You ready to have your man, huh? You got somebody, you can tell him whatever you want to tell him now. He's a hologram. You can tell him shut up, you can smack him. Guess what? You can smack him without even hurting him. Because he's gonna go through him. You don't actually have to cook for him. You can just cook for yourself. Huh? Yeah, there you go. That's what you wanted, right? That's what they're bringing for you in the feminist movement. And for the brothers who don't want to get it right, who don't want to man up and do what they need to do to get a wife, they got you some robots coming for you. Got you some holographs. Are you ready? Yeah. Total mental stupor. Yes, indeed. Let me go to Hebrews 12:5 really quick. Hebrews 12:5. Hebrews 12:5. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation, which speaketh unto you as unto children, my son. Unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. The man in the video was telling the sister, I just want to correct and discipline my son so he can be better than I was. That's what we're reading right here according to scripture. Verse 7. If you endure chastening, the Most High deal with you as sons. So if you allow a man to chasten and correct and discipline his son, he's going to come back to the ways of what his father tells him, even if he goes off a little bit. If he can do it for long enough. Meaning, like a plant. If you purge the plant and you allow the roots to grow. All of you who have fruit trees understand what I'm saying. You purge a plant by cutting it. No one likes the initial cut, because when you first get the tree has maybe 1 or 2 fruits on it. So you can see the potential of it. But a woman will say, oh, keep those little 2 fruit. But a man will say, no, let's take them fruits off. They look beautiful, but are we really trying to grow a lot of fruit? Or do we just want those 2 fruit? And then that tree really has a harsh time as it's growing, because it doesn't have a good foundation. So when the winds blow, the rains blow, when the sun hits it, it does not, grow a strong foundation and trunk to be able to last and to bear more fruit. But I just like those 2 fruit. So an argument comes because they want to keep the 2 fruit. The husband wants the tree to last a long time because it's an investment. But the woman she just likes the 2 fruit. But just so happens a squirrel comes and take the fruit. The wind takes the fruit off, and she's yelling at the husband, did you take my fruit off? The husband like, I didn't take the fruit off. But I told you I want to keep those fruit. The wind blew it off. She don't believe the husband though. You know what? She don't want to face the facts that when he told her to take the fruit off in the beginning, that she should have did that anyway, because they were going to fall anyway, because the tree was not even ready to grow fruits. It was just like a baby trying to have a baby. For those who have ears, let them hear. Verse 7. If you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? So how am I going to have children, daughters or sons, and I don't correct them? I know that mom is going to nurture them and need the comfort. She's supposed to give that. I can't give that. Only but a certain degree according to how a man does. A man can become like, how you doing, son? You doing all right today? And encouraging. Men can be that. But there's a certain level of comfort that even the touch of a woman when she hugs is totally different than a man. Daddy gonna grab you up, give you this, the knuckle sandwich in your head. And he gonna rough you up a little bit, play with you. Your mom's gonna, how you doing, baby? You all right? That mama got some coffee cake up in there for you. Mama got some tea or some hot cocoa. You want some of that lemonade? That's the balance. So when you go outside and get your butt beat to get in a fight, you ain't running back to mama. Daddy taught you how to use these. He taught you how to get the knuckle game because he kept giving you the knuckle sandwich. And he like, give me your best shot. Stop you being too rough for my baby. He gonna need it. Or he gonna come back like what we just watched. Right? Verse 8. But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So now if you don't let me to chastise my son and discipline him, and you're telling me I can't come and see him and discipline, you a single woman raising a black man. And now I can't come back and be in his life because you won't allow me. But you still want my money though. Huh? And now he goes out into the world. He doesn't have a father because now I can't come around to him anymore. Check that out. How often is that happening still to this day? And then the sister, she tries to get with her stepfather, and a lot of times if Christ ain't in it, it don't last long at all. He end up cheating on you. He end up spending all your money. The daddy's paying child support money. He's spending your child support money, as that's his money. Hey, and guess what? You want him for the loving on the side, so you ain't telling him nothing. And he don't really have that real care for his stepson. Only some men do. Only some. Not many, but only some. They have to really love that woman and everything about her to be able to really love that son. But sometimes the son will not accept that man. And sometimes the man will not accept that son. So you're really taking a chance because you're not doing it the way that the Most High said. And it's over and over. 40 years in the wilderness. And then the woman keeps trying. That husband didn't work. Now the young man or the young daughter, they get tired of having stepdads. So now they done ran away, or they just going through life stressed and mad and angry and don't even know why. Mama keep giving me new stepdads. I'm tired of calling men daddy around here. Because that man can't take her mouth, just like your daddy couldn't. He can't take her telling him what to do. So he out. The next one's out. One day I might find somebody who can take me, because I'm just me. I got to be the way I am. Nobody will take you. No one can take a woman's mouth. We're going to read about it. No one can take a wicked woman for long. Trust me. See, in a woman's mind, she paints this picture in her head like everything's going to be all right. I'm beautiful. Not knowing your beauty don't last forever. But even if, let me tell you, you can do all of that. But if you're not a woman, actually, according to scripture, a man will only stay around because you make a good food. He got a little loving on the side that he can get. And hey, he'll stay around for that. But that's not going to be really any growth, spiritual growth, financial growth. Every time it's a new family reunion or you come around, they see y'all still the same. How y'all doing? Oh, man, we all right. We trying to make it from day to day. We just getting by. When you hear people saying they getting by, I don't want to just get by. Sorry. I don't want to just get by. Okay? 1 second. We're not done here. Sirach, chapter 30. He that loveth his son, cause him often to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. What did that gentleman say? He said, I want him to be a better man than I was, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chasteth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintances. Oh, yeah, that's your son? Yeah, that's my son. Somebody say it's your son, but he don't want to listen and do it. You say, yeah, that's my son, man. You now you got a little guilt in you because you don't really want to say it because you know he's not doing what he's supposed to, or mom's not allowing it. Verse 3, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son, like that sister, shall bind up his wounds. When he's getting shot, you're going to be by the hospital bed. When he's getting in a fight, getting jumped, because he's starting mess, or because he's spoiled, because he's walking around with pride, because you spoiled him and everything, thinking he can get everything. He thinks he's the man when he goes to school. Mama's going shopping for him, and all the girls like him, but the other boys don't like him because they know he's a spoiled punk. He thinks he's all that. And guess what? He is handsome. He is cute. That's the reality of it. We make beautiful babies. But the character of that man is not going to be good because he's really a woman on the low. He likes women, but he's really don't even know that, guess what? He's half man, half woman. Instead of being all man. And his bowels will be troubled at every cry. And a horse not broken become headstrong. Let me tell you, you can't run away from this. The Bible is perfect in all the words of the Most High. These are the words of God. They are perfect. No man can gainsay these words because the word is God's word. Those are his words that he put through the prophets to write down for us. Your words, let me tell you, you can't contend. You were made by him. You don't have the right way he does. Right? So I know some women, they come around, shalom, but you know you giving your husband hell. You the one married him. Keep the contract. Show him how it should be done if he's not following. And vice versa for the man. If she ain't following, you show her how it should be done. Huh? If she wanna be mean, you be nice. Now no man's gonna let a woman walk over him. Right? That's where you have to do what Christ said. You separate for a time. And that's when it gets real. You see, hey, Christ said we can't split unless a person commits adultery. But then one of you gonna turn to evil. We're gonna see which one of you are strong and really want to serve the Most High. Because guess what? When you split and separate and gotta live in two separate houses, the kids gotta be with somebody. You see? And the Bible said don't separate for too long because one of you can turn aside to Satan. I'm telling you, this is what Christ said. He gonna put you to the test, baby. Let me see which one of y'all really come to serve the Most High. Who's gonna fast and pray and self-examine and try to save their marriage? Or you run to someone else or back to the world. That's how this thing goes. So I don't think you're gonna come to me and I'm gonna tell you you're gonna divorce, because I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm gonna tell you what Christ said. And you're gonna have to go through that separation of fasting and prayer until it's time to come back together. Unless one of y'all just depart and now you've freed the other one. Because if you show up to Christ with a breach contract, acting you was faking it till you make it, he gonna turn you around. He said, I told you to serve this man. Or I told you to love this woman, but you was cheating on the side. That's marriage when you come together. That's who you with now. You talking about another wife. Brother, the nation of Israel is broken. They don't even know how to have one wife. Even if it was lawful, that would be stupid for us to teach a broken nation such a thing. But it's not. Because the Zadokite works, if you take our Hebrew and Bible Academy, will show you that they went to go and tell David that it was wrong. And that it was not so from the beginning. You trying to run the two, but you can't even you can't take care of yourself, let alone one. We are learning how to actually be family again, guys, as we're coming together as a nation. We jump right back into Israel. Everybody want to be like the prophets and the old teachers. I want to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. You're still not going to be deep. They already did it. You don't need to do that. You don't actually need to do it at all, literally. You're not going to be deeper than who already did it. It's already been done. Follow the examples that have been written and given already. Our forefathers was the ones who sinned. Yeah, we sinned too. But what I'm saying is, if our forefathers wouldn't have sinned, we would have already been where we need to be. They've already done a lot of works that need to be done. Yes, we need to fast. Yes, we need to pray. Yes, we need to do certain things. But you don't need to try to be some extra deep person, not knowing what it took for them to get to that point. See? Everyone wants to be an extra deep Israelite, and we don't even know how to be a nation financially, economically. We don't have no banks. We don't have no armies. We're still working on family and the household. But everyone wants to go around telling everybody else what they should be doing. I'm following the law. You're not following the law. You people go around telling people they're not following the law, but you're going to check their household out. Straight arguing. Disorderly children. I don't care how much money you have. When you got order in your house, you have peace. You have peace. I don't care how much money you have. You have order in your house, you have peace. That's worth more than all money. That's why some people want to be homeless. They're like, I don't want the city. I'm good with all that. They have peace. Peace is over all. Verse 8. A horse not broken become headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. That means he's going to do as he wants. Do as thou wilt. He going to be like, hey, he going to be like all these celebrities out there that we look up to as idols. Not me. I'm talking about people out there. Our people. Right? Verse 9. Conquer your child. Meaning spoil him or her, and he or she shall make thee afraid. That's why I just told you guys earlier. Now you got mama afraid or grandmama afraid because they spoiled the grandchild or the daughter or the son when no man's around. See, daddy ain't gonna let you pull up on him like that. If you allow that man in his life when he's young, he's gonna know. Hey, bruh, I'm gonna put you out. I brought you into this world. I will take you out of this world. Period. Guess what? In the law, when a child didn't listen, that's even when he was a man. You take him to the elders and they would stone him to death. Our nation never took disobedience from children. So I'm sorry, when you go to the Passover, hey, make sure your children ain't running around, because last time I had to tell somebody, where's your father? Where's your mother? You running around in front of the elderly people who's trying to walk with their plate. You need to go sit your butt down somewhere. I'm going to tell them. You better tell your children sit down, because I respect the elders. Maybe you don't. They shouldn't be walking around running into people, make somebody fall or make their food fall. That's not royalty at all. That's not order. You just think because they're an Israelite, that's enough. My child's name is Joshua. You need to teach him how to be like Joshua then. Don't just think just because you put the name on him, that's what he's going to be. Okay, just because you're from Abraham, that don't mean anything. The Most High, let me tell you, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of discipline. That's what it says in the Wisdom of Solomon in chapter 1. The spirit of discipline. Let me tell you, your dog listens more than your children. Are you kidding me? How can we tell a dog to sit and then a child can't sit? And we're not talking about no baby. We're not talking about babies who don't understand yet. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about children who actually understands what's going on. We're not talking about a 6-month-old. They don't know what's going on. Right? Verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. So now a woman does this, and I'm speaking about women because this is what goes on in our environment. Mostly the women's dealing with this part. The woman is stressed. She should have gave the son at a certain point to his daddy. She should have let the young girl go sometime to spend time with her daddy if they're divorced, so that she can know what it feels like to be around a man and to be around her father. What type of man she may choose. But now you force selflessly, you trying to raise these children, knowing you should have started your new relationship and allowed the father to let him take some of the portion. And then guess what? They leave you and they start their own lives, and mama's lonely. I wish I had a man. You're going to be just like the woman with the holograph if you don't get it right. Laugh not with him, verse 10, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn. This is the Bible speaking. And be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Chastise thy son, and hold him to labor. Teach him how to, like the man said, he don't know how to cut the grass. He don't know how to change the tire. Lest his lewd behavior be an offense to thee. So after mama take him shopping, he gonna start talking back to mama. Then she gonna be wanting to call her daddy again. And guess what? She wants to call daddy when it's too late. Your son out here being a terror. You raised the terror. You the one wanted to take him shopping, sitting on Santa Claus' lap. You the one wanted to clean his room and wash the dishes. Mama, can you wash my dishes? Can you iron my clothes? And daddy gonna tell you, boy, you better get up in there and iron your own clothes. You better wash your own dishes. No, I know mine, dude. Boy, hey, 5 years old, you up in there get up in there and wash them dishes. Period. You see? Hey, stop telling him he cute. We already know he cute. Let's get to it. The world ain't gonna tell you cute. Except for the wrong people in the world. But I'm talking about when you have to go make a living. Nobody care about how cute you are. Only if you're going to sell your soul to these celebrities. They'll tell you how cute you are so they can use and abuse you. They'll give you money for that part, but let me tell you, you won't have your soul after. Right? Yeah. Let me see here if I want some more from here. Yeah, I'm not. That's all I want there. So was this man wrong for actually telling his sister that he wanted to chasten his son? Huh? So we're gonna go into the Ecclesiasticus really quick before I open up. Let me see. Before I open it up for a few questions to the people, as I get some call-ins really quick. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23. You know what? No. I want to go to Ecclesiasticus 26 in general. So that our sisters can know what type of woman not to be. And if you do have some of this character, how to change this so that you can keep your husband motivated and encouraged to want to be with you instead of just having a relationship. Yeah, we're together. And we're going to talk about this thing where people think you have to argue. No, you don't. Who told y'all that? I'm tired of people keep saying that. That's not true. It's not true at all. It's totally not true. Everybody argues, Elder. I remember Elder had that academy a while back, and he asked an older couple, do you guys argue? And they said yes. But, I'm going to be honest with you. I personally don't think that you have to argue. People stay together for a long time and all that, but I personally don't think that you have to argue. I think that even older folks can learn something from these scriptures. We're all doing a great job. None of us are perfect. I believe we all get frustrated. I believe a man and a woman can get frustrated. But when I'm talking about argue, I'm talking about yelling at each other, slamming doors. I'm not saying a person will not get frustrated and say, you know what, I just need to take a walk outside for a second, or I need to go pray. You rather do that and communicate and not argue, because once your children see that, guess what? That's not of the Most High. I'm sorry to tell you. It's no. Let me tell you, you can put together the best words. I don't see that in the Bible. I see obey your husband in everything as unto the Lord Christ. Period. See? And if he sees you frustrated, he will get quiet and not try to push the issue further to provoke his woman. We have to be spiritually mature. Let the quietness that you both pray. But arguing, when you argue, guess what? That's not of the Most High. And if you truly, I don't care what age you are, you can be 60, 70. If you truly love the Most High, you respect what he said in 1 Corinthians 11 and leave it there. You respect the order that he said. The Holy Spirit is not arguing with the Most High ever. Period. There's nothing no one can make up or find a scripture that said you should be able to argue. I'm sorry. This is just not. A woman will always have to say, you know what? I have to follow my husband. This is his place. He might not agree. I might be a little frustrated. But really, the woman argues. You know why? The man, when he says something, he's in dominion. If he says, I don't want to hear that right now, because men get frustrated. You know what? I don't feel like hearing that right now. I don't want to hear that right now. And you don't want to get him to the point where, like, I said I don't want to hear that right now. You don't want to get him to that point. You need to know when to just chill, because you're dealing with a lion. You're dealing with the alpha lion. He shouldn't have to, like this dude who we just saw in the video. Oh, are you being for real? I ain't not begging you to tell you something. I am in dominion right now. When we started this marriage, this was a contract. I never said that I was going to let you be the man, ever. And when you really think about it, women love dominance. They respect it. They will come back to tell you, I was just being emotional. That's why women leaders are not good, because they can lead through emotions. And all women are not honest enough to come and tell you that they were emotional. They'll have pride about it, just to prove a vain point. They love dominance, because guess what? When they have to take care of a man who's like a little boy, they're going to protect his integrity, but they hate that. And when they see that alpha male walking in the room, they admire it respectfully. I'm sorry to tell you. These are the facts that Israel does not want to admit to. So we all have a lot of working to do in our homes and our household and ourselves. Right? That's the reality of it. You watching too much Housewives. That's not reality TV, guys. They program you to think that that's reality TV. It's not. Let us read this. And I don't care how many women are angry at me. I don't care how many Jezebels are angry. See? Let me tell you, I know what the Most High do to Jezebels. I'm not saying any woman's a Jezebel. But guess what? Any woman's mad according to the truth of God's word. Let me tell you, the Most High in heaven, he has some dog food called Jezebel. He has some dog food called Jezebel. Jezebel tried to go against the Most High's word and his prophets, and he turned her into dog food. See? It's just what it is. if the shoe fits, we all have to wear it. If we all are wrong and we make mistakes, you know what? I apologize. I'm sorry, Most High. I need to get this right. This is not right. I was taught wrong. The Gentiles even have to come back and say that they were taught, their forefathers taught them lies to get in the kingdom. The Most High said, I will resist the proud, but I will give grace unto the humble. So I will not answer your prayers until you get it right with your husband. I will not answer your prayers until you get it right with your wife. You know you've been doing this on the side, or hey, no, brother, get it right. That's a good woman. Huh? Stop. You're not the Mac anymore. It's not time to be the Mac. It's time for you to be the man and be with your wife and stop playing these little games. She still took you back and you still playing games. See? How many chances do you need? So you got brothers out there who plays games too now. Like little kids. They still want to be the Mac. They still want to dye the beard black. And it's not a sin. It's on y'all what y'all want to do. You still want to dye the beard black so you can go out there see if you still got to get you a young honey when you know you're supposed to be at home with your beautiful wife who fears the Most High. But you know, oh, I got her already. I got her wrapped around my finger. Then hey, stop it. And I know that's hard for some of the sisters. But guess what? That's who you chose to marry. So now in the new generation, that's what I'm telling you. Be patient. Young sisters, you want to marry somebody like you're still in high school, of a young man who's playing games in his 20s? Hey, men mature slower than you. They take a little while to get their finances together. And then you complain later when he can't take care of you. But you wanted to marry a high school sweetheart every time. You want to marry the puppy love. You're in the puppy love syndrome. But I thought it was this, yeah. And he had the nice body. I get it. But he's coming into himself, learning himself. But he will come into himself even more, bigger and all of that, as his metabolism slows down and he starts to calm down and realize all of these childish things are not worth it. And he just wants to live that life, which is why a man in the past was not called an elder until about 50, 60 years old. Because the games was done being played. The Most High was not going to call you some elder and you still playing around like a child. We don't want to face the truth. We still want to wander 40 years in the wilderness knowing we have to do something that's in front of us and not doing it. So let's read Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 26:1. Blessed is the man that had a virtuous wife, because blessings are going to come to him, because their house is in order. That means that woman is in subjection to her husband. Okay? But he says she will block your prayers if you're not. For the number of his days shall be double. Why? Because if a man has a wicked woman, he has stress. He has stress. He's laying down in the bed with a woman who's a backstabber in all reality, when she's supposed to be having his back. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. Not, I don't feel like coming home. I'm going to stay at the gym longer. I'm going to stay at the bar longer. And you got some women who, men, they're wrong for cheating. But some woman who actually is so wicked of Jezebel, with their Jezebelness, provoke their man. They're actually provoking him to do wrong. He don't want to come home. And then, of course, a woman who's coming with the comforter spirit while he's going through these things, of course he's going to cling to that. Not that he should, but of course he's going to cling. There's a chance that he's going to cling to something of a woman. That's what he wants when he comes home, a woman. But he doesn't want to come home to another man. So now when you sit down to counsel, yeah, he cheated on me. All you're focusing on is he cheated. He's totally wrong. And he's going to have to pay for it with the Most High. But what did you do to try to stop him from cheating? Did you humble yourself more? A soft answer turns away wrath. Just like you could have actually showed more humility. You could have showed more humility to get him to Relax and calm down. He come in the house, you complain, and you are so negative. And now he goes out, and the only thing, hey, he wants to come home, but he's like, I want to come home with my children, but I know I'm finna hear from her. She just finna be negative for no reason, as if she's bipolar or something. See? That's why it says, blessed is the man that had a virtuous wife. Like in Proverbs. For the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill his years of life in peace. Every time they see him, he got a smile on his face. Why is he so happy? He's so happy, he gonna have haters. That just comes with the territory. People who have bad relationships hate on people who have good relationships. When all they have to do is put themselves into the categories that they're supposed to be, man and woman, and find out what you're supposed to do as man and woman and follow. And you have the same chances as they do. You wonder why people look up to them? Because they're happy. Who wants to be negative? Woe is me. Are we going through it? You're definitely going through it because your prayers are being blocked. Because your house is not in order. It's very easy. The man is in dominance and the woman is this. And if we follow those, the man has to handle his business like a man. He has to still be respectful and loving to his wife, and she has to submit to what he's saying. And they must do it with joy. The Bible says, give not a gift grudgingly. If both of you are gift to one another, why would you live together grudgingly? That's stupid. So when you come together before baptism, you need to decide if you're married or not. From now on, if you're new and all that, if you're married, or you're not. Huh? Because adults have the Bible, and we should know what to do with the basics of the Bible when it comes to this. You don't have to be a scholar to know what to do when it comes to husband and wife. Just do it. Now, there's some guidance and some counsel that can come to a certain degree. But after a while, you're like, listen, y'all just don't want to get right. So guess what? Watch from home. Everyone else is getting it, but you, I don't know if this is for you. Watch from home. Watch from home and get some studying and fasting and praying at home. You're taking up somebody's seat. You're taking up somebody's seat. You want to be negative. You want to argue. How are you going to be an example to the saints of the Most High and the people? You're still in the church, but you might just want to watch from home and learn till you get it right. To whom much is given, much is required to take these seats. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. You know why I'm saying that? Because it comes to a point where we have to start being able to build instead of always thinking that just because we're in the church and we counsel people, that we have to have counsels all the time. We don't have to have counsels if everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. We can actually continue to put in and build. Put our bricks forth and build. And we can look back and say, man, we haven't had a counsel in a long time. Oh, that's D Nice again, huh? I don't know if it's Denise or D Nice. But last time, D Nice, you cannot come up in here. I already gave a commandment in the beginning. I am over this broadcast and Elder Dale. And let me tell you, if it's not according to what we're teaching tonight, I'm sorry. You will be banned in Gigabyte Land. With all due respect. We will wish you God's speed of light. A good wife, verse 3, a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. So if you pray to the Most High for a godly wife, right? And you're patient, that's what you will get. But if you rush for the outward appearance, that's what you would get. A wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. So if you're searching for lust and you're like, oh man, I can't wait that long, I'm burning. Hey, brother. You're gonna be burning in hell if you pick somebody just for lust. Because if you pick someone just for lust, she's just a tool. And you guys, you don't love the Most High alone first. If you both love the Most High alone first, you have a beautiful relationship together. All right. Verse 4, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he at all times shall rejoice with a cheerful countenance. So that's what a relationship is about. No matter how much money you have, if you have a good mind towards the Lord, you shall rejoice at all time, meaning you're just here to do the Most High's will in all humility. The Most High said, worship me with all your soul and all your might. And that's why you see people happy, because they like, no matter what comes my way, I'm here living another day and I have another chance to get it right. Two people together like that, that's powerful, and the devil hates it. Right? Verse 6. You know what? Let's go to verse 5. There be 3 things of mine heart that my heart feareth. And for the 4th I was so afraid, the slander of a city and the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and false accusation. All these are worse than death, he said. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. She's whipping people with her tongue. She's always got something smart to say. Rude. And let me tell you, we're Israelites from different walks of life, different places. And I noticed since I got into this, that meeting a lot of people from up north and the East Coast, they were very rude people. We have to close that. We have to bridge that gap. I know that I don't like everyone acts according to where they're from, but no one should be rude with anybody just because that's where you're from. No. You must respect all men and be gentle to all men, as the scripture says. I know a lot of people like, you know, and this was even in the world. A lot of people thought always from the East Coast and up north that people from the South either wasn't a certain way, but then they'd be totally shocked because they stay humble to their brothers. So we have to stop that thing there. We have to stop that. That's wrong. I'm sorry. That's totally wrong. Just because you think something don't mean that's what it is, because you will be totally surprised. So don't think, oh man, I'm from up here just because the cost of living is higher, and that's nothing but a slavery mindset. Because you went up north. So what? You're supposed to show the same respect to your brother and your sister. And I'm telling you, that's the Bible. Because I will suffer wrongfully, but don't forget what happened to Cain and Abel. The Most High will always resist the proud. Don't forget about Apocalypse of Paul. You come in there saying hi to some people, but then you ain't say hi to the others. So guess what? You can take the road of vengeance, but the Most High said vengeance is his. But also don't think just because someone else is being humble and you think you getting over that you getting over. You ain't getting over. You getting and you going under. I'm going to put it to you that way. Because we are all servants to one another under our Lord Christ. I'm a hired servant. I am a hired shepherd over sheep. But we must always be respectful. We can't forget that part, guys. We can't forget that part. Let us close and bridge that gap of stupidity and rudeness that was in the world. The north side is better than the south side. The east side is better than the west side. All stupidity. All divide and conquer. Because I definitely don't look up to nobody, no matter where you're from, think you better. And I don't think I'm better. And you're not going to make me feel that way. Your words would, let me tell you, your words would not belittle me. Because I know what you're saying about me is not true. So that I can care less about words. But I'm telling Israelites, you can be wherever you're from. This is not our home. Our home is in Israel. And our God comes with rules and laws and loving thy neighbor as you love thyself. Okay? So let us take that misconception off that Southern people are weaker or lesser. It's totally wrong. And it's totally off. And it's totally stupid. It's been that way even before the truth. They come down here and then they find out people like, and guess what? I don't look up to these people. But you got people who are like, for example, and I'm digressing, hip hop heads. Oh, we did this and did that. And then you come to find out, you got people like Jay Prince and Master P who funded most of these people financially when they couldn't. Because they didn't look down on their brothers. They looked up to them because they did so-called start hip-hop and did this. But they went up there when you thought the black man down south didn't have anything. We come up there with the money and funded them. You see what I'm saying? So it's things that you can't judge a book by its cover, and you have to be careful for this stupidity. We are all brothers and sisters. We have all been through the curses, and someone is betting on us continuing these traveling 40 years in the wilderness. Someone is betting on us continuing this perpetual stupidity. But I digress on that. I want to put that out there. All right. Verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that had hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Right? So let me tell you, it's very hard for a man to survive in a relationship like this. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad cause it great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. So you have a wife who have no shame. And let me tell you, we used to be performing overseas and all that, and you have a lot of Edomite women who their husbands know that their wife has no shame, coming up to you with no shame, just like, hey, you trying to perform, you got to spin around, because they just all over the place. It's like, hey. And the husband just sitting there like, oh my goodness. You got sisters who does these things too sometimes. Too free, too comfortable. Huh? Talking to other men too comfortable. When you got a husband at home, you got to be careful. Okay? Yeah, we family, but hey, you got a husband too. Okay? Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. I like to joke with my sisters, and I like to tell her, like, listen, if I can see them eyelashes through the dark tent, they too big. They looking like the camels. It's too big. You got to be reasonable here. If it look like Ezra scissors hands in the window, it's too long, guys. You got to be reasonable. Paul said, let us use the world, but not abuse it. How you going to save your kids if human trafficking or something happens? Your nails too long. What's going to happen? What you going to do? Maybe you're going to do that. I don't know. Maybe that's why you got them. I don't know. It just doesn't make, it's like certain things don't make sense. And a lot of this really comes from demonic things of witches and beasts. Beasts have long claws. You have to understand. Our nails, it's really not supposed to be that long before they break off and we hurt ourselves. So I'm not condescending. I'm just being, this is reality. And actually, men doesn't like things too much like that. I saw something where they went out there and said, how many men like natural, do you like the natural woman or the unnatural woman? All the men said they like the natural woman. And the women, when they answered it, they said, well, they like the BBLs and this and that. And they were totally wrong. You know, we like natural women. We'll work, hey, be patient and work with you. Get up in the gym, baby. Here go that food. Here go that protein. Let's get on it. Here, take that creatine. Let's get it. And if you got a little too much, we're going to work with you too. Men love their women. They're going to mold them according to the way that they like them. Okay? So, verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. But if she's being raised by a woman like we seen earlier, baby, I'm going to wash the dishes. I'm going to do everything. Go on out there with your friends. She's going to go out there with her friends and come back with a baby in that stomach. That's what's going to happen if you do that. Right? What is he telling the father here? Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespassed against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. She, what we call back in the day, she a little freak. That's just the reality of it. Yeah. Promiscuous, free, liberal. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. In every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against the arrow. And all the men who like harlots, they are like, hey, this is for free. This is easy. Hey, men like something easy. They gonna be honest with you. Men is like, hey, and you know one thing about men, what a lot of sisters don't know, hey, y'all come on, man, we got one over here. That's just the reality of life, guys. So if you raise your daughter, understand that you're raising someone who is not going to be of the Most High. She's going to be of the world. She needs to not be gullible and understand that if she's free, the choo-choo train, hey, this is just the reality of it. That's how wicked the world is. Right? She will open her quiver against every arrow. Okay? The Bible's trying to keep it discreet, but this is the reality of it. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. See that? When you have a woman, she's not trying to complain about everything her husband's doing. She's trying to watch. You don't want that woman who's watching that movie talking about she wants the perfect guy. Because guess what? She will never find him. She will never find him. All the sisters really want to find is Christ. But they're too lazy, so they take the other route. Whoever come through the other door is a thief and a robber. You come through this door, you're going to get you a godly man. But you're going to keep searching and searching and searching. And guess what? They will all keep leaving. And if you're making babies, it becomes worse. Because now, it's not as easy for you to get a husband with children. That's just the reality of it. You can get one, but it's not as easy. And then now the man comes along and say, hey, this is not actually my responsibility. And you sitting there, well, if you want me, you got to take care of it. He don't have to do anything. You're actually being blessed and don't know it. If he's willing to do it. Why would he be excited to come and have to take care of something that he didn't create? Why would he be excited to take care of burdens that he created? You can't force men to be excited about that. When they do it, you give them more honor and respect for actually saving you and helping you because of your mistakes of not learning how to pick good men. And if you can face that, God can actually still bless you. Confess your faults and you shall be healed. We got all these women out here going out there with all these men as if they're virgins, looking at men. If he can't pay for my children, can't do this, can't do that, can't do that. And then you'll go out. You're saying all of this, but then you'll go out and get with a guy who's worse than him to sleep with him. What type of sense does that make? Because on the side, you're still lonely, but you don't have a relationship with God. You need to focus on your relationship with the Most High God. So you can learn how to be temperate. You can learn how to hold yourself together, because haven't you learned that, hey, opening the scissors is not working for you? Put the wrapper back on. Put it back on until you have a relationship with God and you learn how to get a godly man. If the Most High has mercy on you. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but guess what? I didn't come to bring any falsehood. Christ said the truth shall set you free. And I'm not bringing it as if I'm better than you or perfect. This is the reality of what's going on in our community. I cannot bring any falsehood, because falsehood does not set us true. The truth shall set us free. Excuse me. The Most High said, woe to the pastors who prophesy lies unto my people. Okay? I love my sisters and they know it. Trust me. But the physician is for those who need to be whole. All right? Let me tell you, we've all made stupid, silly mistakes. But while the time is now, while the getting is good, we better try to fix them. Have we learned anything yet? Or are we still sitting back with pride, like still being stubborn? Hey, keep being stubborn and rolling in the wilderness. These immigrants are coming through, baby. They're coming through. And you're going to wish that you didn't pass up that good man. And you're going to wish that you didn't pass up that good woman. Still wishing you can get an Instagram male or female model. You're not going to get them. And if you get them, they're going to leave you in the cold and the dust. 14. When it says a silent woman, it's not talking about a woman who doesn't talk. This is where you're dealing with a childish woman who reads the scripture. So I'm just supposed to be quiet. I'm just not supposed to say nothing. When you see sisters saying this, they have not evolved yet. They have not evolved. They are still stuck in their ways and stubborn, wandering 40 years in the wilderness, and some of them have husbands, unfortunately. He tried to read with his wife. Every time he reads the wicked woman scripture, she thinks it's talking about her, because it is. That's why she's angry. A woman who you reading with, if she reads the wicked woman scriptures and she's angry, it's talking about her. Because a virtuous woman like that ain't talking about me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Man, this is a good scripture. Let me make sure I'm not doing that. That's a righteous, virtuous daughter of Zion. Okay? So we have to self-examine, guys. We're supposed to be, living sacrifice to, unto the Most High. A silent, loving woman is a gift to the Lord. Why would it say silent? A woman who's not actually scourging with her mouth. We read it earlier. She's not scourging with her mouth. She's not going around trying to tell everybody how it is and what she thinks in her opinion. Sweetheart, you're not supposed to walk around in the whole world telling everybody how you feel. That's not ladylike. Men don't even do that. Men speak when they have to, and if they don't, they're fools, what the Bible calls. So if a man says something, even in his anger, even if he didn't mean it, a woman knows, I probably better stay silent. I am a woman. This is a man. Does not nature itself teaches that? A silent woman, she knows when to keep her place as a woman. Regardless if she's around her husband or any man at work, in the world, she knows, I'm a woman. I need to keep my place. This is a man. And men will actually, a real man would actually respect that. And if you want to turn yourself into a man, a lot of times you get the camera, when the camera comes on, you see a man fighting a woman because really she starts speaking to him as if she's a man, right? And then she hit him, but then the camera turns on when he starts hitting her. Huh? But you didn't see the beginning of what she did. She didn't keep her place as a silent, loving woman. A soft answer turns away wrath. Instead of going to get her husband to solve the problem. Oh, she might not have one. Because she's doing the same thing she's doing to this gentleman. She did the same thing to her husband. So she done ran him off too. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Don't you want to be in love? And not just be with each other? You're supposed to be first before you get with each other in love with the Most High. And then when you get in trouble with each other, in love. Let me tell you, it's a beautiful love. Both of us alone love the Most High. You don't have a person, let me tell you, you got sisters out there who tell you don't pray for them. I was praying for you. Don't pray for me. And sisters know that be them. They trying to pray against the husband. Lord have mercy. It's time for you to go and find you a worldly man then. You gonna let this man stay with you and you know you don't love him? That's horrible. You know where you really want to be. You want to be in the world. But you want him to take care of you like you're a virtuous woman. That's wrong. And you're going to pay for it when you see Christ. You're going to pay for it. You know what you're supposed to do. This man's going out of his way to take care of you. Regardless if you have to go to work or not. Yeah, we're in captivity. Don't forget where we are. We're in captivity. We have to work to get to a certain point to afford those things. They don't just fall out of the sky. When we were given the land of Israel, when we came out of Egypt, he didn't just give it to them. They had to go and take it. They had to work for it. Joshua, the Ephraimites complained. I'm digressing. The Ephraimites complained to Joshua and said, how are you going to give us this little bit amount of land? Will we have more people? He said, guess what? You know what? You're right. You do got a lot of people. The land over there is wooded. Go and take it. Go take it. Nothing will be given to us. Our God worked himself for 6 days and rested on the seventh. Where does things float out of the sky for you? You will get blessed and things will happen for you according to your consistency and diligence in such works. But we just thinking, we just thinking the world owed us because our forefathers said we in captivity. Now the whole world owed us. Yes, they do owe us to a certain degree. But the reality is, even if they gave it to us, we would still have to maintain it and keep legacy and keep it revolving to the next generation and the next generation, right? This is where a husband and wife agree together they're supposed to be doing these things. learning how they can do these things for their children. 15, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. So if you got a shamefaced woman who's not just all out there, all on every man, and she's a faithful woman, she's a double grace, because you don't have to worry about her being spoiled, taken from you. Man sliding a number on the side. Because let me tell you, a lot of us used to date or have girlfriends and boyfriends, and women would still, well, I don't want him to do nothing to me, so I still give him my number. But then it'd be that one guy who she take that number from, who she end up sleeping with on the side. Let me tell you, the Holy Spirit knows all. And her content mind cannot be valued. Her continent mind cannot be valued. As a sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of a house. So is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of a house. So if she's making sure she upkeeps that house like a helpmeet, let me tell you, it says as a sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of it. That man wake up out of the bed, oh man, you got them biscuits going? What type of biscuits? That's some buttermilk biscuits. You got some syrup in there with that butter. He come up, smell them biscuits. The children is in order. Let me tell you, boy, she got you some tea coming, or some, whatever you like to drink, your coffee. She got you a little wine coming. Huh? Boy, she's not complaining about she got to wash your clothes. Now, everyone's life is different, so they have to work on their balance, because some people like, you know what? Some husbands is like, I'm going to help my wife with these things because every situation is different. But on that off day, on that weekend, she can do a little extra. So, you know, but I'm saying that the house is overall in order. Right? As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so is the beauty of the face in the ripe age. Let me see if, let me go down to verse 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle. This generation is a generation, they lack the knowledge of who we are, obviously, so we're walking around as whoremongers and harlots. So they're proud to be harlots. They're bringing out this young lady, Sexy Red, and all this, you know what I mean? And I mean, she's out there twerking with pregnant. You got this, this lady. Well, she's calling herself something else, but what's her name? Is it Lil Ma? Not Lil Ma. What's the from New York with the goals in the mouth? I don't know the name. Y'all have to correct me. And she be singing some song talking about ooh, some. It's trash, but I'm just saying. But she wanted to go get pregnant. She don't know what she want to be. Verse 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. She have her husband back. She a tower against death. Huh? Just like you watch Game of Thrones, you got the little midget Tyrion. He had him a little harlot. That his family like, nah, you cannot marry this harlot. He was in love with her, but they like, no. It came to one point to where he had this, he didn't want her to go away, but he had to tell her, you're a whore. You're a whore. I can't marry a whore. Because they wanted him to marry an actual wife. That's what family was about in the past. And it is today. A wife and a husband. Young M.A., trash. Yeah, she needs to come back to being a woman. And she's pretty. She probably get offended at me calling her that, excuse me, but, she looks more better that way, to me. That's my opinion. You know what I'm just saying? Because and you know what? I can say that without disrespecting, because she's pregnant, and I know she got pregnant not by another female. It takes a man to still do that. So I think she should take the goals out, and find out what she wants to be. But the music is trash. I'm sorry. All right. But a married woman, and our generation is so confused. Everybody's in the club knowing it's jamming this. Like, what? Right? You don't want to be like my poor little sister Christian Rock and what's the young blue something. You know I don't know these young people's names. What's this guy? Blueface. She done put the tattoo on the whole face. Then you got the other girl put the tattoo somewhere else. Lord have mercy. This is what happens to a generation who does not have the father in their life, guys. Who does not have, and when I say the father, you can't just be a regular father. I'm talking about the rule of law according to the scriptures. We're not just talking about regular men and women here. A wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. That's what you wanted, brother. You wanted a woman because you couldn't wait. And you got her. You wanted a woman because she was fine. And you have her. And it happened to all of us before. You see? Yeah. But a godly woman is given to him that feared the Lord. So don't complain later when you got together. See, this is what happens. A lot of people want to get counsels later, but they got together for the flesh. He ain't doing this right. She ain't doing that right. Because you got together for the flesh. It's saying it right here. A wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. Two people get together for the flesh. They create children of the flesh. They create an environment of the flesh. What do you think? If you don't take back the reins and restore the order in the house, that will be perpetual. But when you come together like that and you say, you know what, we came together wrong. Let us bring it back to how it was supposed to be in the beginning and let us just fall in place. It takes a lot of pride to do that. Now the children can be healed. And guess what Christ said? The truth shall set you free. Confess your faults and you shall be healed. Check that out. But y'all got too much pride for that, don't you? You got too much pride for that, don't you? Huh? And I'm going to be honest, the sisters will act like they can't forgive more than the men. The men, we're very simple. Come up like the sun, come down. The woman just like the moon. Crescent one day, full one day, half the other day. Act like you don't want to forgive. I don't know how to forgive. You better find out how to forgive because you're saying that prayer every day. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Don't say the prayer if you don't know how to forgive, baby. You better start reading them scriptures and fasting and praying. There's a lot of lessons coming out here. Okay? Verse 24. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. It's saying an honest woman will reverence her husband. You don't want to be like that woman in the end talking about Christ. I cast out devils in your name. I was doing this. I gave this. He's like, you didn't reverence your husband. You're not being honest. An honest woman will reverence her husband. That's what he's going to say to you. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Unfortunately, I'm not going to call any of my sisters that, even though I know they're out there doing it, because I know they're out there doing that due to them not knowing who we are and us discontinuing from our heritage. But I pray that the Most High bless them with his knowledge. But according to scriptures, that's what that is. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Okay, come back to your God, my sisters and my brothers. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him and in her pride, do you know how many sisters are still dealing with this spirit? She knows she should be listening to her husband. But they have the but in their head. But he don't do. Don't worry about what he don't do. You're acting like Miriam right now. You're acting like Aaron right now. It's not your place to judge him. The Most High will judge him. You have no place right to judge him. You are under him, so you must follow. What does it profit you if you only follow, when it comes to good, as the scripture says? Huh? The scriptures tells us to be faithful not only to the good, but also to the froward. So if your husband's froward, or he's a little bit more, stern, or he's a little bit more whatever in character to you, if you're humble, a godly man, that will even humble him. He would even be like, man, she's too humble. I can't do that. I had to change who I am. That's wrong for me doing it. You're going to make him look at himself. So teach and lead by example on both sides. Right? A woman that honored her husband shall be judged wise of all. So when it comes to the end, what is Christ going to tell her? She's going to be judged wise of all. Even now, when they look at her, that woman's wise. Her husband said something, even though they probably felt like he went too far, she say, okay, baby, I'm going to listen to that. Yeah, for sure. I got you, baby. She don't talk back. I know you ain't going to say that in front of everybody to me. I can't believe you said that. Who you think you talking to? Don't tell me like that. Why you got to say it like that? That needs to stop. That's Jezebelish. You don't want to be dog food. Listen to me. I'm just telling you what the scripture says. This is not from my own opinion as a man. This is the Bible. And this is life. This is reality. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. When you talk back to your husband, you make yourself look like a fool in front of your children, in front of your friends, family, church members, whoever, public. I see people. I heard a man today walking in the store. Who are you talking to like that? I'm like, Lord have mercy. Here we go. All in the store. So the Bible is real. But not just judged on earth. What prayer did we say? On earth as it is in heaven, right? So when it's time to meet the judge, she shall be counted ungodly of all, because from the woman came all sin in the first place. Right? So there's no way you can hide in your innocence. From the woman came all sin. There's no thing where women just walk around as if you got some women who they can never tell the truth. They always act like anything they did wrong, they're covering for it. No, but I did it for this. Let me tell you, you will not be approved according to your will that you want to do. That's what the Bible says. A sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his or her will. And we've already caught you in the lie 30 times. And you still, that wasn't me. We're not trying to take your innocence away from you, but you will admit to this or you will not be healed. The truth is the only thing that's going to set you free. You see? Verse 27. A loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. So that's not what we wanted there. But before we go into the few calls, I'm going to take a quick break. I know it's late, but I know some people want to call in and chime in on this topic. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to play a song, then I'll come back. But let me ask a few questions here that I've jotted down as we go into these calls. If it be that some people want to call in. If it's not, we will chime in next week. We might chime in again on this topic next week. Should not men be able to correct their children? I might have to chime in on some of this next week on my next show. Can women actually be able to choose men instead of just always falling for the puppy love and the hope? Thinking that first day of convo, you think you know each other. When you don't know someone until you actually live with them and you're around them long enough. Should the women actually choose men, or should it go back to the old culture where fathers or good men chosen men for them? Because it seems as if they continue to have baby daddy at the baby daddy at the baby. They just keep trying and they still fail after 30 plus years, 40 years, 50 years. You don't know how to choose men at all. You shouldn't be choosing them. That's not history. So we have to get back to families first so that the men can choose. But now we are a family. So if you don't have a man to help you choose, you have elders, you have leaders. We know who men are. We know if he's sorry, if he's lazy, if he's lying, if he's a pimp hustler. We know if he's playing you, if he's a fox, whatever. Huh? So we don't want our sisters to have to keep going through this. We don't want the children. These are our children too in our nation. We don't want them to have to go through this. Huh? Is it acceptable to argue? We're going to go through some. I'm not going to finish all these questions tonight. So we next week, this is what I'm going to do. Next week, we're going to answer these questions next week. That's what we're going to do. I may take a few calls tonight, but I want to actually go through these questions for the whole show. I'm going to come on early and I want to go through the whole show with this. Is it acceptable to argue? I want to hear people's opinion on this and why they think it's so. According to the scriptures, even though it's telling the sisters, follow everything of your husband unto the Lord. So I want to hear even the man. And man, if you think it's okay to argue, then you just don't get it. That means they arguing with you. You give the rules and they follow. It's her who's arguing with you. So if you arguing, Lord have mercy. Right? You don't, and guess what? I was young before. We don't have to argue and say that we are the man. That's the wrong woman. We be the man and we show we're the man. They'll know. Right? People choosing a mate according to the flesh. Should women date men not established and then complain later? We're going to ask these questions next week. This is what my show is going to be next week. Why? Because this can cause marital issues, lack of respect. It can affect intimacy. Divorce leading back to the curses. Should men choose women when they're not established? Oh, yeah, this is what my show is going to be about next week. We're going to continue this on. Huh? Yep. Being in the truth and still trying to have a relationship in the world. Sometimes men, they have a wife and it's like they're worshiping their wife because she's pretty. And they're still letting her, even though she's in true dress worldly, trying to put her out there. Oh, this is my wife. She's so beautiful. Trying to show your wife off. But you're worshiping her beauty. You don't know you're worshiping Nimrod's mother or Kali. That's what you're doing. The queen mother of heaven. That's what you're doing when you put your wife out there like that. Don't you know other men are weird out there? And hey, they're going to treat your wife like she a magazine, brother. You better chill. You don't put your wife out there like that. Got her still dressing worldly as if men are still not men out here. That's silly. People do it all on Instagram. You know, sex sells. So they put their wife out there with the, with the bedroom attire on to get money. Just like you sell your children to Moloch, you putting your women out there like that. No different than you allowing the slave master back in the days to take your wife. This is the facts. We're gonna talk about this next week. I'm gonna go into it little by little. I'm gonna ask a question. In the whole show, we're gonna do call-ins on each of these little questions here. Now, men, I'm gonna put some out there for you. For establishments, jobs, savings, financial plan for life, credit, and learn to live below your means. And learn to crawl before you walk and not want everything that a man in his 50s, late 40s is getting. You want it tomorrow. It don't work like that. You got to put your time in. You're not that deep. You need to learn experience. I don't care what degree you have. You will not learn to appreciate it if you're just giving it. You need to learn what life is about so you can hand it down to the next generation. Okay? So I'm gonna answer these questions next week. That's what I'm gonna do. It's late. That's what we're gonna do. So I know I left you with a cliffhanger. That's just what we're gonna do because it's late. This is what we're gonna do. Tune in to next week on this topic, and we will be calling in the whole show answering these questions. I want to hear what y'all have to say on this. I do. I want to hear. Because I know you're going to have probably one or two sisters come in. Well, I don't believe this because such and such and such and such. And y'all always talk about the men and see all the shows is always about the men. I already know we want to hear that though. It's okay. If that's what you feel, we want to hear it. I don't believe we always talk. I believe we talk tonight fairly about just relationships in general. And have we learned anything of how to keep them so that we can be blessed and so we don't go back into the curses? It's some things that we do wrong and we could do better. And some things that you guys do wrong and do better. But what I'm saying is the enemy doesn't want us together at all. He wants us to totally split. So I'm gonna leave it there because I know you need to go back and listen to this and say, but I'm gonna ask all of these questions. Let it marinate in your head till next week. I'm gonna just let it marinate. We're gonna leave it there. All right? We're gonna let it marinate. I love you guys. I'm gonna leave it there tonight. I know y'all got to go to work tomorrow. It's later on the East Coast. So we're just going to do the questions tomorrow. I'm going to come on actually a little bit earlier next week so I can get a lot of callers on. And we might go to this time about 5:30 CST. 5:30. We're going to come on maybe 5:30 to 6 Central Standard Time. Be ready for those calls. Okay? Have we learned anything yet? Okay? Have we learn anything yet? I love you all. Peace and blessings. I'm going to go get me a little rest. I've been going all day, every day. That's just what I do. We all working hard. So I'm going to let you guys get your rest. Marinate on that. Pray for one another, guys. We have a lot of work to do as a nation. We're not just Israelites yet. We're building ourselves to be Israelites. Learning how to cope with one another. Learning who we are. What will we accomplish? Learning what can we do in our faith. We have a lot of work to do in some troublous times, but we will be fine. We must pull through together. The black man and the black woman. I'm just talking about just Judah. All the tribes are black. Okay, they was black at first. Maybe they're not all black now, but they was black at first, so they still black to me. They just white black people now, so whatever you want to call them. But we're Israelites. Okay, so we all need to work at this because the Gentiles seem to have it together. Okay, peace and blessings. I'm your host, Elder Rawchaa. Make sure if you want to get yourself right, I got my little B12 I was just taking here and my little drink. That's why it's yellow. Make sure you want to come get your good old gummies for your children. Daddy be eating some of their gummies too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Make sure you go to KIIYsupplements.com. That's keysupplements.com. And make sure if you want to learn more in depth about these topics, you go to historytimes.org to join our Hebrew and Bible Academy. We're only going to charge you $50 a month. And guess what? You're going to be able to walk out that door a brand new man or woman. And I suggested if you want to be married that every man takes that. And woman too, obviously, but every man to lead your house, take the academy, brother. Trust me, so you can be equipped. You want to be able to answer her questions. You don't want to have to always ask the elders every single time everything. Or she should have married one of them, but she can't because they married already. So get in that Hebrew and Bible Academy. That's the reality of it. Peace and blessings, guys. Shalom. Historytimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book. And the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.